My name is Jordan Yee. I'm an architect, a contractor, a developer, and a founder of A Storied Life. Rather than just being a landlord where we have leasable space that we lease to individual tenants or businesses, we've chosen to adopt a model where we're very involved in curating the experience and the vendors and the choices that are made for the business. So rather than leases and warm bodies, we're really handpicking the partners that we're choosing to work with at Belmont Hall. What that means is that rather than collecting a lease payment, we're actually taking 25% of individual vendor's gross revenue. It's done through a central point of sale system. And so all of the revenue that is generated in Belmont Hall by the vendors, it's logged into that central POS, and then our 25% covers the typical occupancy costs of a restaurant. So that's the lease, utilities, insurance, those sort of things that are tied really specifically to the real estate. But what that also covers is the health department licensing and permitting, marketing of the business. I mean, as being part of the Belmont Hall brand, I mean, we'll have a strong social media presence and a local presence that goes beyond, I think, just the footprint of the building. And so they'll benefit from that. I mean, something as simple as the royalties required to be able to play music over the loudspeaker in the space. I mean, all of those things are it's an all-inclusive fee that they're charged in order to be part of the Belmont Hall experience. And so that's one source of revenue. The second source of revenue is the three bars that are part of Belmont Hall. So we'll have a central bar that's probably more geared towards kind of craft cocktails and wine. We've got a culinary director and a wine director that are on board that will help push that program. But then we'll also have an outdoor bar that will be more quick serve type thing. So that might be where the craft beer selection happens, frozen drinks, things like that, other beverages that are quicker and easier to kind of to make. That'll be a central component to the outdoor, the yard. And then there'll also be a third bar upstairs on the mezzanine that could be operational during business hours, but also that'll be part of the event space and the different event spaces that we'll have in the building that can be leased out for private events. And so and speaking to the private events, we'll have a 3,200 square foot private event space that's on the second level. Again, it's connected to the mezzanine with its own bar. There's about a 1,200 square foot second level deck that will overlook the exterior yard, and that's really tied to that private event space. And so then there's the yard itself, which is nearly 10,000 square feet, can be reserved for all types of events. So I mean, we plan to regularly program that, but we think that the private events will be a great additional revenue stream. There's just a lack of private event spaces in Pensacola at the size that we're operating at the target of 250 people for a seated black tie type event. There's just very few options in Pensacola for that. That same space we can subdivide into smaller sections for events that don't need that much space. And so it'll be a highly flexible building that can accommodate a number of different size events and different types of events.